Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock and we're following two big stories tonight, including some breaking news on the east side of Indianapolis. Right now, IMPD officers are in Irvington. They're investigating a deadly shooting. They tell us one woman was killed today. A possible suspect said to be in critical condition with what officers believe is a self-inflicted injury. We'll have more on that story in a moment. But first, let's talk about these brutal temperatures. The coldest air of the season is settling into central Indiana. Rob's in tonight for Angela, and Rob, really two things we're talking about. We've got single-digit temperatures and then patches of freezing fog, right?
Yeah, the fog is going to be a concern, especially as we get to early morning, but I want to show you some of these numbers. Already, we're seeing some of the temperatures down into the single digits. It's only 19 in Indy right now, and that is cold, but take a look at some of the numbers. 4 right now in Kokomo, 8 in Carmel. We've got 5 in Mount Comfort, and let me see if I can just pull the map down, because look at this. 1 degree right now in Logansport. So the temperatures here where the snowpack is on the ground is really allowing the temperatures to drop. And even in the city, we're getting some pockets of some much colder air. You will have to watch for some freezing fog overnight. I'll put 10 as the low for Indy, but of course there are going to be some temperatures that are much, much colder than that. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, the good news is we rebound quickly into the low 30s with some sunshine. Then we've got to talk about snow for the weekend. I'll cover that coming up.
All right, Rob, see you in a couple of minutes. And now let's get you back to that breaking news in Irvington. A woman shot and killed inside of a business. A suspect who police say tried robbing the store is now in critical condition. We've got Alex Almanza, who's just talked with police and tonight shows us where all of this unfolded. Alex?
Yeah, we're near East Washington and Audubon Streets, and you can see quite a bit of a police presence. Police say they were called around 6:45 p.m. To the shopping area, specifically Josephine's clothing store. IMPD says when they got here, they found a woman who had been shot and killed, and they also found who they believe is a suspect who then fled the store. It's described by many as one of the most tight-knit communities on the east side.
There's not a business on this street that would not give any one of these people that are out here that needed help, that needed food, shelter, whatever it is, they wouldn't bend over backwards to try to take care of them.
IMPD says Josephine's clothing store on East Washington was the target of a robbery. They found the victim dead, and the suspect ran away. They caught up with him nearby, armed with a gun. Police say as they ordered him to drop it, he turned the gun on himself and fired. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
It's absolutely senseless. Right before the holidays, you know, to come in and make decisions like this that is just life-altering and life-ending for some people.
City County Councilor Andy Nielsen, who represents this district, says Irvington is resilient, telling 13 News, quote, "We are mourning this senseless tragedy together. I ask that in this moment, we do as we always do, look out for one another and all our neighbors." Now, IMPD says this is an ongoing investigation in what they call a tragic incident for this community. Quite a few folks in the area were walking by and they were in disbelief seeing a business that they support targeted. In Irvington, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
A vape is now the center of a deadly shooting investigation in Fishers. Now, we just got the court documents tonight that outline what investigators say happened in the moments before the gunfire. All of this unfolding early Monday morning inside Britain Tavern, which is near State Road 37 and 141st Street. Police tonight are telling us that McLean Mert thought the victim, Justin Burton, stole his friend's vape and admitted to shooting Burton. Mert is now charged with murder and armed robbery. The Hamilton County Chief Deputy Prosecutor talked to us today about the process of putting these pieces together in a case like this one.
We know that the public wants to know what's going on and we want to try to get the information out quickly, but it's always a back and forth of making sure there's enough information in the probable cause affidavit to inform the judicial officer to make the determination that there is probable cause, while also keeping private matters private and not having too much information.
Mert is expected in court tomorrow afternoon. A push tonight to make changes to a bill proposing a new Indiana congressional map goes nowhere. Democrats proposed 21 amendments. Lawmakers discussed 15 of them and passed none of them. Those amendments included putting the proposed map on the ballot and then allowing voters to decide if it should be used. Another amendment called for letting the state's nonpartisan Legislative Services Agency redraw the map instead of state lawmakers. This is all part of a GOP-led effort to gain House seats during the 2026 midterms. Now, this proposed map that you see here would divide Marion County into 4 districts, among some other changes. The bill's author says he consulted the Legislative Services Agency as well as the National Republican Redistricting Trust and staff members.
It was written to be consistent with our Constitution, our laws, our rules, the Constitution of the United States, and the Supreme Court of the United States. So that's who helped write it.
And the eyes are upon us for the moment. We have an opportunity to make a real statement. We have an opportunity to say we are going to lead the way to a better way.
So here's how it's going to work tomorrow. Indiana House members will vote on the original bill in its original form. The Speaker says the votes are there to support it. What happens over in the Senate is the bigger unknown. They'll get to that bill next week. The Supreme Court just ruled that Texas can use its new congressional map that is favorable to Republicans. That's where this redistricting debate really got started. The new Texas map is aimed at gaining the GOP up to 5 House seats next year. Here's a quick look at the other stories making headlines tonight. A first look at a plea agreement for an Indianapolis mom who's accused of taking part in the death of her baby daughter. Harmony Jones died in January of 2023. Her mom, Jada Stiles, was charged with aggravated battery. An agreement posted today shows the state will reduce the charge to neglect resulting in serious bodily injury. Stiles is due in court tomorrow. An Uber driver who pleaded guilty to killing an Indianapolis mom was just sentenced to 45 years in prison. Francisco Valadez admitted to killing the woman after she ordered a rideshare in September of 2024. Someone discovered the body of Chante Dixon in the woods one day after her family reported her missing. Frontier Airlines is adding 4 new routes from Indianapolis International Airport. The airline is offering new nonstop service to Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. They start in March of 2026.
And they took it upon themselves to make the deliveries so the citizens of Fisher would have their packages.
Fisher's police playing Santa after arresting a delivery driver. We're told police tried to stop the driver for speeding, but he drove away, then ran off before they tracked him down. So about 20 officers divvied up the packages in their cars to make sure they got where they needed to go. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app. In less than 24 hours, FanFest will open to Hoosiers and Buckeyes descending on downtown Indianapolis. The top 2 college football programs in the country, Ohio State and IU, squaring off Saturday night in the Big Ten Championship over at Lucas Oil Stadium. And the party gets underway before either team plays a single down. As Logan Gay shows us, the fun all starts tomorrow afternoon over at the Indiana Convention Center.
Production crews are putting the final touches on the Big Ten Championship Fan Fest, and organizers say this is going to be an experience that fans will never forget. Outside, inside, no matter where you look downtown, the Big Ten Championship is hard to miss. Bold letters cover Lucas Oil Stadium, the JW Marriott, and just about every corner of the city.
We want to create the best experience possible for anyone who's coming downtown.
That experience kicks off Friday when FanFest opens inside the Indiana Convention Center.
This is an opportunity for the Big Ten Conference to connect with the community of Indianapolis.
And Omar Brown says that connection comes through all the action packed into FanFest.
You'll have everything from flag football clinics to the opportunity to kick field goals to the opportunity to interact with Discover and their Fan Fest. There'll be a wing eating contest, there'll be cheerleaders, there'll be bands. It'll be just like the game, but right here at the fan experience.
This year, IU hits the championship stage for the first time, facing Ohio State. Organizers expect waves of scarlet and crimson.
Ohio State fans, they'll tell you they haven't been in this game in 4 years. And I would say at one point they thought they owned this game, so they're chomping to be back. IU is thrilled to be here for the first time, and it's going to be exciting.
With game tickets already sold out, Brown says FanFest may be the closest many people get to the action.
Being at FanFest is the same thing. This is an opportunity for you to touch Big Ten football without being in the stadium.
We break down all the hours and prices, everything you need to know about FanFest right now at WTHR.com. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.